Hey guys, it's me, Mishy, and I made my video for Monday. This is, if you're watching it, it's either Monday or Tuesday, depending on where you live, but it's Mishy Mondays, and as we all know, I'm now going to start my own thing, starting this week, with Mishy Mondays and Fridays. So let's get to it. As you can tell by the title of the video, I'm going to be talking about bullying. This video, as I have to give a little shout out, is also inspired by my friend, and if you want to check out his videos, he's always someone that, well, his goal is to put a smile on your face, and he's a very smiley person, and he's very nice, and he is strongly against bullying, and if you want to check out his channel, he wanted me to advertise his channel, and he teaches you how to play the guitar, and a lot of the teaches you how to play a lot of the mainstream songs on acoustic guitar. So go check him out. And here he is, and he's also, if you want to see more information, just check the bottom bar. So I am constantly aware that there are tons and tons of videos out there about bullying. Not all of them go to my understanding. This video, I'm going to tell you right now, is not going to be basically about this. Most people will tell you on the internet, or just people advice on it would be just ignore them. Just ignore them and just be like, whatever, I don't believe that, and believe in yourself and all that, which is great. That's perfect, and that's great, and that's how you stop them from bullying you. But that does not stop the bullying problem in general at all. This video about bullying is going to be about everyone. Everyone, the bullier, the bully, everyone, the victims, the victim, and this video is more about stopping it. To start out with, everyone has had their fair share of bullies, mine and everyone else to a different extent. It could be just someone teasing you about your hair color, your weight, your height. A lot of it is appearance, or it could be deeper subjects like about your family life and issues, and simply judging others on accident. A lot of bullying can be on accident, and so we're going to go through all those different topics because everyone bullies. Let's first start out with I've had my fair share of bullies. I've been teased on the twin aspect, where I'm constantly compared to my twin sister. I've also had my fair dealings with suicide and depression, where kids would constantly tell me how selfish I am for trying to commit suicide, and address all these topics, but they don't know anything about it. And this is how I handle a bullying situation, and what I figured works best with both ways. So let's say someone goes up to you and says something extremely cruel to you. Just could be a side mark, could be an accident, whatever. So something extremely cruel to you. And the typical response to most people is to say something mean back. In my situation, what I do is I just kind of shrug them off, and then I'll be like, but I say something to them that totally just outlooks what they mean to say. I looked at them in the eye and I'd be like, how can you say something so cruel to me? Are you okay? Is something going on in your life right now that would make you want to say something so cruel to me? And that's what I usually say. And the reason being is, like, most people just shrug it off and just ignore them, and that's fine. But I like to get into an intimate level of people, and emotional intimacy, and I like to help people. I would say 98% of the time, people won't speak meanly about others just for the sake of being mean. Usually, it's something going on in their life. Most of the time, it's just like they could be having a bad day, and they're just snappy, and if they see someone, they could either be jealous of you, it's not always jealousy, or they could just see someone as an easy target, and then boom, they'll start bullying you. But in reality, what they need to do is they need to be confronted, and they're the people that need to be talked to the most. And this is something I realized: a lot of those people, they are having family issues or boyfriend issues. It could be anything, and they usually, bullying, like saying something mean, is a sign to someone that they need someone to really talk to and really handle and settle things out. What I've noticed, and through research, when people confront people like that, when they're being bullied, and the person being bullied and ends up helping the person bullying them, those people just end up stop bullying because it changes them. It's really hard to do. You have to be extremely assertive. You have to forget everything, every mean thing that person's ever said to you, just forget it, let it go, and you have to help them out. And that's what the big part of bullying is. We gotta remember just to forget, move on and forget, because most of those people who bully are not in a clean state right now. They could have been egged on by friends, pressured by friends to say things, and that's how a lot of bullying ends up happening. So that's one way to address a bully problem, and that's the typical situation. Just talk to them, because if you talk to them, you will change their life, honestly, and they'll honestly remember that conversation the rest of their lives, and they'll remember that one person who went up to them, and they will think more about what they say to others. Here is another bullying aspect, and this is the aspect most people don't realize, and it's easy just going on Facebook, just going on and everyone does it, and people say they're so against bullying, yet they do it on a normal day basis. And for example, what's popular is media bullying. And media bullying is just me hanging out with a group of my friends, and then someone brings up Justin Bieber, and someone says Justin Bieber is a faggot. Now, Justin Bieber isn't there, but that's still bullying. The problem is, once someone brings that up, everyone in the group starts talking bad. And I always address people in this group, and it always gets them to stop. Always. And I'd be like, how can you say such cool things about Miley Cyrus if you've never met her and know her personally? How can you say such hateful things about Justin Bieber, say, I hate him and all that kind of stuff, because you don't like his music? You've never met him. You don't know anything about him. And even if you met him and know him, it's still, it's bullying. And it could be simple as talking with your friends and then talking about a girl at school who, let's say, I don't know, been around with some guys. And then you'd be like, oh, she's a slut, I hate her. You don't know her. You don't know her life. And you don't know anything about her. There's girls at my school, in my group, I'm always ahead of that, because when someone talks mean about some girl at my school, and I'll be like, that girl has such a hard life, and what they really need is someone to talk to and not someone to talk bad about them. And if we talked more positive about people, that girl could change herself. Because I realize when people are talked bad about, they'll act like the stereotype that people are stereotyped as. For example, if you call that girl a slut, she'll start pushing herself to be a slut, or wanting to be a slut, and thinking she is a slut, and acting and doing these things just because that's how people see her. But if people always see good about her and always say good things, then she won't be like that. And these people just really need someone to talk to. So much you can say about the bullying topic, and now here is how to address those situations. For example, let's say you're in a group of people and someone is being talked bad about. You can either kick in to the group and continue to talk bad about someone. That would be the aggressive approach. You can be non-assertive and just be quiet, not say anything. Or you can be assertive and say, hey, let's not talk bad about our school friends. Or say something positive about them and say, they're actually a really good person and she's great in school and all that stuff. How could you say so mean things about your school peers? And if you stick with your assertiveness and if you stick with that, they'll stop, and then they'll be changed by that, and then they will, later on, talking to other people, they will act the same, and they will think before they talk bad about someone, because if you take that approach, they'll stop, and better on, they'll stop talking bad about others as well, generally, and that's how we can stop bullying. Well, this is kind of just a little bit of an introduction to this. If you guys want to know more about bullying and want to know more about my advice on it, I'll put it in my Friday video. Write in your comments certain topics about bullying, and I'll address that in my Friday video. Monday is my topic, and then Friday will be some clear-ups and more about that topic. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you guys Friday. Big heart for all of you guys, and compliment to 3 people today. That's my challenge. Bye-bye.